Ever find yourself trapped in a whirlwind of negative thoughts? It's a common predicament, isn't it? We all have those moments where we're caught in a storm of pessimism, where every thought seems to spiral down into a pit of negativity. It's like being stuck in quicksand. The more we struggle, the deeper we sink. Negative thinking is not an isolated problem, it's a universal one. It's a barrier, a wall that stands between us and our goals, between us and the fulfilling life we aspire to live. It's an anchor that weighs us down, and it's high time we cut the rope. But it's not just about the goals we fail to reach. Negative thinking takes a toll on our mental health. It's a cloud that casts a shadow over our minds, dampening our spirits and draining our energy. Negative thoughts are a universal problem, but the good news is they can be managed. To control negative thoughts, one must first understand what they are. In essence, negative thinking is a pattern of thoughts that skew towards the pessimistic, often painting situations in a less favorable light. It's the voice in our head that tells us we're not good enough, that we're bound to fail, that everything is spiraling out of control. But where does this voice come from? Why does it seem so loud and relentless at times? Science provides us with some answers. Negative thinking is often a product of stress, anxiety, or past experiences. When we're stressed or anxious, our brain goes into a kind of survival mode. It's constantly on the lookout for threats, real or imagined. And this can lead to a barrage of negative thoughts. Similarly, past experiences, especially traumatic ones, can shape our thinking patterns. If we've been hurt or disappointed in the past, our brain may try to protect us by anticipating similar outcomes in the future. Now let's delve a bit deeper into the concept of cognitive distortions. These are essentially faulty ways of thinking that can fuel negative thought patterns. For instance, you might engage in all or nothing thinking, where you see things in black and white with no room for grey. Or you might catastrophize, imagining the worst possible outcome in any given situation. Perhaps you overgeneralize, believing that because something negative happened once, it will always happen. These distortions can be tricky to spot as they often feel like reality. But they're not. They're just thoughts, and thoughts are not facts. Remember, the brain is an incredibly complex organ, and it's not always our ally. It can lead us down paths of negativity, causing us to doubt ourselves and our abilities. But by understanding the nature of negative thoughts and recognizing cognitive distortions when they arise, we can start to challenge and change these patterns. Understanding the nature of your negative thoughts is the first step towards controlling them. Now that we comprehend our adversary, it's time to counteract. Negative thoughts can sometimes become an unyielding opponent. Nevertheless, they can be controlled with the appropriate strategies. Let's take a look at some practical advice on how to catch and replace negative thoughts. The first step is building self-awareness. This involves being aware of your thoughts and emotions as they occur without judging them. Once you've identified a negative thought, write it down. Journaling can be an extremely effective tool in catching negative thoughts before they spiral. You can then challenge the validity of these thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Is it based on facts or assumptions? Often you'll find that many of your negative thoughts are not based on reality. Lastly, make a conscious effort to replace negative thoughts with positive ones. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," replace it with, "I can and I will do this." This might seem simple, but with practice, it can become a powerful tool in your mental health toolbox. Now, let's shift our focus to mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present and absorbed in the moment. Without judgment, we notice our thoughts and feelings. When we are mindful, we can perceive our negative thoughts as they arise without becoming entangled in them. It's as if you're sitting by a riverbank, simply observing your thoughts drift by like leaves on the water. Lastly, let's delve into positive affirmations. These are encouraging statements that you recite to yourself to confront and conquer negative thoughts. They can be as straightforward as, "I am capable," or "I am deserving of happiness." The key is to repeat them so often that they become ingrained in your mental scape, much like a favorite song that's constantly playing in the back of your mind. Keep in mind, These techniques are not about suppressing or disregarding your negative thoughts. They're about acknowledging them, comprehending them, and then opting to respond to them in a more beneficial manner. It's about equipping yourself with the tools to traverse the tumultuous seas of your mind, to reach the tranquil waters beyond. Bear in mind, controlling negative thoughts isn't about eradicating them entirely, but rather about learning how to respond to them in a healthier manner. Controlling negative thoughts is only half the battle. The other half is learning to replace them with positive ones. Positive thinking isn't about ignoring life's less pleasant situations. It's about approaching those situations with an optimistic outlook, believing that the best will happen, not the worst. The benefits of positive thinking are vast. It can reduce stress, increase resilience, and even improve your overall health. But how do we cultivate this positive mindset? Well, practices like gratitude journaling, visualization, and self-compassion can be instrumental. Gratitude journaling, writing down what you're thankful for, can shift your focus from what's wrong to what's right. Visualization, picturing your goals and how to achieve them, can inspire hope and motivation. Self-compassion, being kind to yourself in times of failure or pain, can prevent you from spiraling into negative self-talk. By controlling negative thoughts and fostering positive ones, you can unlock a more fulfilling, happier life. Let's recap on what we've learned about controlling negative thoughts. We dove into the murky waters of our mind, understanding that negative thoughts, while common, can be a hindrance to our well-being. They are not inherently bad, but the power they hold over us can be detrimental if left unchecked. We then explored tangible techniques to control these thoughts. We learned to observe them without judgment, to challenge their validity, and to replace them with more constructive ones. By practicing mindfulness, cognitive restructuring, and positive affirmations, we can regain control of our mental landscape. Finally, we illuminated the power of positive thinking. By inviting more optimistic thoughts into our mind, we can create a ripple effect, influencing our emotions, our actions, and ultimately our life's trajectory. Remember, it's a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself and know that each step you take is one step closer to a healthier, happier mind.